everyone, welcome to Zach Attack Reviews. Thank you for joining me for my review of Champions, a new comedy sports film that's coming out starring Woody Harrelson. A former minor league basketball coach receives a court order to manage a team of players with intellectual disabilities. Despite his doubts, he soon realizes that together they can go further than they ever imagined. Champions is rated PG-13 for strong language, crude, and sexual references. Let's start off with the good. So, Woody Harrelson, he usually plays two different types of people in movies. He's either playing an evil asshole or he's playing a sympathetic, kind asshole. We're getting the latter in this movie. He plays Marcus, a disgruntled J League coach who's obsessed with becoming a full-time coach in the NBA and getting his own team. But he has anger issues and he has hard time with connecting people beyond what they can do for him in basketball. When he gets in legal troubles because of his anger, he is forced to do community service where he has to manage a team full of youth with different disabilities. This movie threads the line of making fun of these type of people and having them in on the joke. It's a very fine line where sometimes I was like, whoa, but then they will pull it right back before it gets insulting. I was scared that this movie was going to be very insulting on people with disabilities for the comedy's sake. And obviously there's some jokes here and there because of their lack of understanding of certain things or their responses to certain things where people without disabilities would understand the nuance of the conversation, but because they don't get to interact with a lot of people outside of themselves and maybe their family, they don't understand instructions of certain things or why certain things are important, like why you have to shoot the basketball correctly so you can win the game. They're just thinking, hey, I'm here to have fun. And that conflict is where in the beginning, that first act is Woody Harrelson's trying to coach his team like this is supposed to be like an NBA team, and he's trying to get them to become the best and the best and the best, and it's frustrating for him. And it's that journey that makes this movie interesting. And the cast among the disabled youth is excellent. These guys are really good actors. They're so funny with the comedic timing, but bring so much heart with the dramatic parts as well. We have Johnny, one of my favorite characters in the film. He doesn't take a bath and is ongoing joke about how he smells. And as we further get into the movie, you figure out why he doesn't want to take a bath. And the journey with that was really interesting and kind of shows you like how we don't fully understand like what's going through people's minds sometimes when we see them and they're not doing certain things that we think is just normal everyday things. Or Marlon, who is not skilled at all at basketball, but he is there to support them and he has random facts where he knows about things that feel so unimportant, but sometimes within the movie he knows something that is important that can help the team get over a hump or get over a problem. And I know kids like that as well, someone that worked in the school system, people who would just blurt out random facts or blurt out certain things and you're like, this is not the time and place. But you have to, in this movie they show you have to cultivate that and get that person in the direction where they can help one another. And I really like this character as well. Craig, one of the funniest characters in this film, he always kept talking about his girlfriend and how they had threesomes and everything with him was jokes about things that he was doing with his girlfriend. Everybody's like, I have a girlfriend. And it was just that back and forth of the buddies ribbing each other and him just being so assertive that, yes, I do have this girlfriend. We do freaky stuff. And Woody Harrelson character, Marcus, is like, whoa. I'm not here to talk about all that stuff. Focus. Let's get back into the basketball. We also have Darius, a kid that decides he doesn't want to play for Marcus at all for like the first half of the movie. And when they finally reveal the reason why, it led to a little bit of a deeper meaning and deeper discussion for this film that where I didn't expect it to go. And I really enjoyed his character and his bluntness. And then this emotional moment that him and Marcus have halfway through the movie. I think that the film found ways to discuss certain deeper topics while having fun and having the typical sports inspirational story. And if you've seen the trailer, you know Constantino, the little girl that has the fanny pack and just has a foul mouth. She was a highlight, as she's not really good at basketball at all and was just there to put a boot to everybody's faces. Like if you were not doing what you were supposed to do, she was dragging you by the air, and I just loved her character. She was funny, but she knows when to get serious, and she was a really good motivational speaker. She was a really great actress as well, and I've seen her in other things before this when she was younger, and I think she was a great addition, somebody that was a more noticeable face amongst the disabled community of actors. And I always wanted to talk about this on my channel, story versus plot and what it means, and I think this movie is a perfect example of story versus plot. So the plot of the movie obviously is in the synopsis. Marcus gets in trouble. He has to come to this school and teach these and coach these disabled youth into becoming a basketball team, and he wants to get them to the championship and win the gold. That's the plot of the film. You've seen it tons and tons of times before. A white savior movie where some white disgruntled guy goes to a school with minorities or disabled youth and change their lives forever because they couldn't do it on their own. What makes this movie a little bit more refreshing and different is not only the comedy aspect and the colorful characters that they have playing these disabled youth, but the fact that they dig a little deeper, and it's the journey to that point, journey to that championship game, that makes this movie worth a watch. Because we see Marcus, like I said before, having a hard time connecting with people that usually people see it hard it's connect with, and building the confidence in these youth that was there, but just kind of focusing it. It wasn't the fact that they couldn't do it without him. It was just that they needed someone to be there and help them focus on it. And the movie also dwelled a little deeper on each of the special needs youth strengths and disadvantages, which I really liked, shedding light to a lot of the things that they can do better than other people because they're so hyper focused or because they just have this bluntness about them. And also the disadvantages of how some people may take advantage of them at work, because a lot of them have to work to support themselves because they may be a little older than the school system is allowed. So they have to get a job eventually and help around the house. And we get a storyline with that as well. So each character, for the most part, had a storyline there where Marcus kind of contributed in their growth while they were helping him grow as well. And that journey was really, really, really good. It was funny and it was engaging and had a lot of heart. So that's where, like, if the plot is like the stereotypical thing, but the story supports it and make it better, because the plot just drives the story forward, but we get all these little nuggets of stuff in this movie that made me really laugh out loud in the theater and actually really like the film. Now let's talk about the bad. So with this movie, the only thing I can say was bad is that there was a lot of points in the film that was just the stereotypical sport inspirational story, and you can get the beats really well. It's not going to surprise you. You really care for the characters and their interactions because they're fun and funny. And also, the movie felt kind of rushed towards the end. There was like a montage that happens, like going into the third act, that kind of rushes through certain things where I wish they spent more time on. And it also felt like it was a little bit of filler. So I think that there was some time in the movie where they can maybe cut that montage out and use that time to more develop certain things, see more of the games that they were playing, because this is a sports, inspirational comedy, but there's not a lot of them. There's like the games and they're fun and everything. Like, it's not going to be super exciting. Obviously, it's the most athletic people, but we didn't get to see as much as I want, especially as the kids got better at it. I wanted to see them play more. I think that they could have used more time to make that a little bit more exciting and fun. Let's get into my verdict. So if you like inspirational sports films with a lot of heart, some laughs, some lovable, colorful characters mixed with the Netflix show Atypical, I don't know if any of you guys saw that show. If you know, it's a really great show about a kid that has disabilities and how he overcomes them and learns to grow. And a lot of that is here. And, Woody Harrelson's Marcus actually reminds me a lot of the father in that show, because he has to grow and understand his son a lot more. So it was a lot of that, but instead of one kid, it was like 7 of them. So if you like those kind of films, plus that show, or if you ever seen any movie or show with people with disabilities overcoming odds, this will be a movie for you, especially since it's so funny. There's crude humor, there's slapstick humor, there's just genuine laughs throughout the film. And I just enjoyed the characters. And how I feel overall for the film, I really liked the film. I enjoyed my time in there. It was a nice surprise. I got to see it early because it actually comes out this Friday, March 10th, if you're seeing this review before it comes out. And I gotta say, I enjoyed it in the theater, but it's not something I can recommend for people to rush and go see the theater, especially since it's coming out the same time as 2 of the big movies, March 10th. But if you're somebody that goes to movies often, check it out when you can. If you are someone that's a frequent movie theater, if you're not and you pick like one movie a month, I wouldn't say this is the movie that you should pick, but definitely check it out when it goes to PVOD or streaming, because it's a really good time. And with that said, I'm going to give it a C+. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What would you rate Champions if you have seen it? And if you have not, if you've seen this review before the movie comes out, let me know if my review has pushed you towards seeing it. Like the video if you like my review, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you can notify my reviews, reactions, ranking lists, live discussions, and more. You can watch more of my content right now.